Hello boys, so today we'll be doing a lesson in page number 61. So this is for the boys of class 6, okay, our children of class 6 studying in St. Augustine School. So this is English literature for 6A, B and C, all the three sections. So here we are doing a lesson in page number 61, the title Cherry Tree. It's a poem by Ruskin. Now when we have to talk about this poem, it was written by Ruskin, who happens to be a very important figure. You can say he was a very popular writer for children. Ruskin, he was of a British origin and he lived in India, and his works are mostly influenced by the social life in the hill station at the foothills of the Himalayas, that is around Nainital, Dehradun. Alright, so he writes a story based on these places, so which is where he spent most of his life. So this particular poem, The Cherry Tree, talks about the great determination, hardships and a lot of responsibility, no matter what, that you have to go through in life, and that is what the writer also prefers to learn from the cherry tree, because as a boy he had planted a seed, not knowing that the seed was of a cherry tree. And you know, it's like a miraculous, this cherry is a kind of a miraculous food, alright, it's also known as a superfood. So you have the reference of a cherry tree even in Bible. It's a miraculous tree. So here he talks about how as a child he had planted this particular seed and had almost forgotten about it. And it took 8 years for this little boy to find out that what he had seeded long time back, that is 8 years back, had grown something into a sapling like a tree. So he is like, he is totally happy when he looks at it. He's totally excited about what he sees, because he almost forgets about it. And this particular seed has taken a lot of determination and a lot of difficulties to go through, because to grow into what it was, because what happens is that once a grass cutter comes in, tries to sight it out, and there are goats around that come and graze around it and almost eats the plant up, and no matter what difficulty it goes through, it finally sprouts into a plant. So, The Cherry Tree by Ruskin. 8 years have passed since I placed my cherry seed in the grass. Must have a tree of my own, I said, and watered it once and went to bed. And forgot the cherries have a way of growing, though no one's caring very much or knowing. And suddenly, that summer near the end of May, I found the tree had come to stay. It was very small, a 5 months child, lost in the tall grass, running wild. Goats ate the leaves, grass cutters sighed, spilled it apart, and a monsoon blight shriveled the slender stem. Even so, next spring I watched 3 new shoots grow. The young tree struggled upwards, thrust its arm in a fresh, fierce lust. For light and air and sun, I could only wait as one who watches wandering while time and the rain made a miracle from green growing pain. I went away next year, spent a season in Kashmir. Came back thinner, rather poor, but richer by a cherry tree at my door. 6 feet high, my own dark cherry. And I could scarcely believe it, a berry, ripened and jeweled in the sun. Hung from a branch, just one. And next year there were blossoms small, pink, fragile, quick to fall. At the nearest breath, the sleepiest breeze, I lay on the grass at ease, looked up through leaves at the blue blind sky, at the flinches as they flew, and flitted through the dappled green, while bees in an ecstasy drank of nectar from each bloom, and the sun sang swiftly, and the stars turned in the sky, and moon moths and singing crickets, and yes, I praise night and stars and trees, a small tall cherry grown by me. So in this particular poem, we also see the pride that the child feels after the seed has grown into a tree. The pride that the child feels while he sees it. All right. So this particular poem is actually in a form of a short story, also in the collections of short stories written by Ruskin Bond for children. So I hope, children, you have understood what the message the poet is trying to give you through this poem. All right. So let me remind you again. The theme that it is based on is, no matter what, there are a lot of difficulties in life, and just like this cherry tree that grows from a little seed into a tree, we should also know, all right, we should also know our responsibilities and move forward. There may be times that might break us down, just like the natural conditions, you see, like there were goats around for the tree. There were goats around that ate the leaves around it. There was a grass cutter who came and sighted the little plants around it, almost damaging the tree. So in the same way, there might be hardships in our life, but we should not break down. And just like this miraculous cherry tree that grows into that little seed that grows into a tree, also giving fruits. All right, you could see that the child was so excited even looking at the fruit that the cherry tree bore. So it also attracted a lot of birds and a lot of insects around. So in the same way, we should also be able to go through any kind of hardship and should not break down easily. Alright, so that's the message the poet also tries to give us through the poem. So I will be giving you an explanation of each line in the next class. Alright, so thank you for listening so patiently, and have a good day and stay safe, all of you.